DA leader John Steenhuisen is announcing legal action over school pit latrines. This follows the death of a 3-year-old Langalam Viki at a school toilet in Buffelsdoring in the Eastern Cape. Steenhuisen is visiting the Viki family and will also be conducting a site visit to the school as part of Human Rights Day. Let's take you there live now, where the DA leader is speaking.
Don't keep up anymore with the cost of living. And yet, that pain and that indignity is added to by the fact that we still have young children dying in pit toilets. And so while others may be at stadiums today and others may be marking this day by celebration, I said to Bax, who's my parliamentary councillor, that I don't want to have a stadium day on Human Rights Day. I don't want to go and celebrate something when this family is in such pain. And so I said to Bax, I want to go to the Eastern Cape. And I don't care how far it is, I don't care how long it takes to get there. I want to go and visit the scene of this tragedy. And I want us to use Human Rights Day to do something that's going to make a difference. And so I'm going to announce today 2 action steps that we're going to be taking. Because words of comfort will disappear eventually. But if we can make Langalam Viki's death mean something, if we can make her legacy affect change, that will be ongoing comfort for the family. That we can look back at this as a marker where we declared war against pit toilets in schools. That we declare war against the indignity that our children have to face. And then we can rid our schools of these deadly facilities once and for all. Then one day the family, the Viki family, can look back and they can say, my daughter's death was not in vain. My daughter's life meant something. And although she didn't live a long life, the difference that she has made for children all over the country means something. And so today I want to announce that we will be proceeding with legal action against provincial and national governments across the country to compel them, like the judgment in Limpopo, to ensure that a plan is put on the table that's going to show how we eliminate pit toilets at our schools, and that the courts compel government to come back with regular reports around this elimination process. Secondly, I'm sending this man, who's our Shadow Minister of Education, Bakolile Nodada, and my parliamentary councillor, around the country on a school infrastructure inspection, the likes of which this country hasn't seen. And we're going to do an audit of every single school where these pit toilets are. And we're going to call upon civil society, government, NGOs, CBOs, and anybody who cares about the future of our children to join us in this process of eliminating these deadly pit toilets from our society once and for all. If we can do that, if we can bring back dignity to our young children, we can inculcate in them the fact that human rights are something to be celebrated. How can it be that just the simple act of going to try and relieve oneself in dignity and in privacy can turn into a deadly occurrence in this country? And so let's use this opportunity. Let's make sure that young Langalam Viki's life was not in vain. And so I ask every one of us as South Africans, let's not just use these holidays to celebrate what may have been. Let's not use it to celebrate long past victories. Let's use days like today as calls for action to see what more can be done to ensure we can build a proper human rights culture in this country where no one needs to die in vain. As a father and as someone who has their own family, I would encourage all South Africans to remember the name of Langalam Viki And when you go home tonight, maybe pull your own children in a little bit closer and let them know that they are loved. Let your family know how much you appreciate them. And when you say your prayers tonight, please say the name Langalam Viki. Because every time we say her name, and every time we raise her plight, and every time we talk about her terrible fate, we breathe life back into this young woman and allow her legacy to mean something for our country. And so to the Viki family, I say, God's richest blessings on all of you. May you be comforted in this time of grief. And may you know that you don't bear this burden alone, and that your daughter's life, as short as it was, is going to mean something for our country and for our young children. Amen. Thank you very much.